Prince William and Prince Harry have experienced all of life's ups and downs in the public eye, but perhaps nothing was tougher or more traumatic than dealing with the death of their mother, Princess Diana. In many ways, William and Harry were never the same after Diana's death. A lot of kids are close with their grandparents, but what if your grandmother is the Queen of England? It doesn't exactly seem like the normal protocols of life apply, and that was certainly the case for Prince William in the aftermath of his mother's death. The young prince was in close proximity to Queen Elizabeth growing up, but William revealed that his relationship with his grandmother changed after Diana's death. Speaking about his grandmother in a 2016 documentary about the Queen, William said, "Having lost my mother at a young age, it's been particularly important to me that I've had somebody like the Queen to look up to, and who's been there and who has understood some of the more complex issues when you lose a loved one. She's been incredibly supportive, and I've really appreciated her guidance." Of course, William has been training to become king under his grandmother's watchful eye since he was a teenager, leading to a uniquely special bond between them as the Queen guides her one-day successor through his royal education. Losing a parent is an experience that no child should ever have to go through, especially when the grieving process has to be so out in the open. Both Prince William and Prince Harry put on brave faces for the public eye after their mother died, but William revealed that when he first learned about Diana's death, he was left numb. Speaking in the 2017 BBC documentary, Diana, 7 Days, William recalled his state of mind at the time, saying, "I remember just feeling completely numb, disorientated, dizzy. You feel very, very confused, and you keep asking yourself, why me? All the time, why? What have I done? Why? Why has this happened to us?" Of course, the world watched as William and his younger brother walked behind their mother's casket. Thousands of people, most likely some of whom had crowded the same streets for Diana's wedding, watched as her 2 young sons followed her body. How did William feel about the experience? Explaining that there was an element of duty and responsibility to the touching memorial gesture, he said, "It wasn't an easy decision, and it was sort of a collective family decision to do that. It was one of the hardest things I have ever done." What made Diana Spencer's death feel even more drastic was the outpouring of grief from the world that followed it. But how did the young princes, William and Harry, feel about the outpouring of public grief and support? William recalled in the Diana 7 Days documentary, "I was very touched by it, but none of it sank in. All I cared about was I'd lost my mother, and I didn't want to be where I was." Harry echoed the sentiment, saying that in hindsight, reading cards and looking at the tributes left for his mother was the last thing he wanted to do. He said in the same documentary, "Yes, it was amazing. It was incredibly moving to know, but at that point, I wasn't there. I was still in shock." The immediate aftermath of Diana Spencer's death was nothing less than chaotic, and the gravity of the tragedy was something that Queen Elizabeth keyed into fairly quickly. Prince William and Prince Harry revealed in a documentary for the BBC that their grandmother did everything she could to protect them from the overwhelming media coverage of their mother's death. William and Harry, in the days after Diana's death, stayed with the Queen at Balmoral Estate, being kept away from the public so that they could privately grieve. William said, "At the time, my grandmother wanted to protect her 2 grandsons, and my father as well. Our grandmother deliberately removed the newspapers and things like that, so there was nothing in the house at all, so we didn't know what was going on. That didn't stop the public from leaving heaps of flowers at Kensington and Buckingham Palace, whether the family was there to receive them or not." Even if you don't know much about the royal family, you more than likely know that Prince Charles and Diana Spencer had a pretty ugly divorce. Both Diana and Charles had accused the other of extramarital affairs. However, despite their bitter split, Charles still had to process some serious emotions when Diana died, something that Prince Harry clued in on. As Harry later recalled, "One of the hardest things for a parent to have to do is to tell your children that your other parent has died. How do you deal with that? I don't know. But he was there for us. He was the one out of 2 left, and he tried to do his best and to make sure that we were protected and looked after." Harry commended his father for doing everything he could do to support his kids, all while he was going through the same kind of grief they were struggling with themselves. In the aftermath of Diana Spencer's death, the relationship that Prince Harry and Prince William had with their grandfather, Prince Philip, changed. Philip reportedly made a pledge to his grandsons, telling them in reference to their mother's funeral, "I'll walk if you walk." It was a gesture that was particularly telling, and Philip reportedly continued to advocate for the young princes after Diana's death. Angie Hunter, the United Kingdom's former government relations director, revealed that during a conference after the Princess of Wales had died, Philip really stepped up to advocate for her survivors. Hunter said, "We were all talking about how William and Harry should be involved, and suddenly came Prince Philip's voice. We hadn't heard from him before, but he was really anguished. 'It's about the boys,' he cried. 'They've lost their mother.' It was a relationship that clearly stood the test of time because both William and Harry walked behind Philip's casket at his funeral in April of 2021. Spouses and partners can have a huge impact on each other, particularly when it comes to matters of the heart. And from what we can tell, Kate Middleton entered Prince William's life at just the right time. Some people close to the royals, including royal biographer Angela Levin, have claimed that Kate saved William, and that although she had to endure a steep learning curve when she became a member of the royal family, she helped him through very difficult emotions. It became evident that Diana Spencer's legacy had impacted William's relationship with Kate when the couple announced their engagement. William presented Kate with his mother's iconic sapphire and diamond engagement ring, a beautiful tribute to the woman who couldn't be there with them to celebrate. Time can heal emotional wounds, but life still has a way of bringing long-buried feelings back up to the surface. For Prince William, his life was drastically changed when he welcomed children with Kate Middleton. Speaking in a BBC documentary about mental health, William revealed that having his own kids brought back many emotions linked to his mom, especially to his experiences around losing her at such a young age. William said, "Having children is the biggest life-changing moment. It really is. When you've been through something traumatic in life, your emotions come back in leaps and bounds because it's a very different phase of life, and there's no one there to help you." Just as Kate Middleton impacted Prince William's life and emotional remembrance of his late mother Diana, Meghan Markle played a huge role in Prince Harry's life and relationship to his mom. Harry also proposed to Meghan with a gorgeous engagement ring, this one featuring a central diamond and smaller diamonds on either side. While Harry sourced the main stone of the ring from Botswana, the smaller jewels of the ring held significant importance.
The little diamonds either side are from my mother's jewelry collection to make sure that she's with us on this crazy journey together.
He was later asked if he thought his mother and Meghan would have gotten along, and he said that they would have been, quote, thick as thieves without question.
I think she would be over the moon, jumping up and down, so excited for me.
With time, Prince Harry has opened up about Diana Spencer's death and how much it impacted him, which sounds like no easy feat. He wrote about the aftermath of his mother's death in the foreword of a children's book called Hospital by the Hill, published in March 2021 in honor of those who lost their lives to COVID-19. Harry revealed that his mother's death left a huge hole inside of him that was not easily repaired. Speaking to those going through similar grief and loss in their lives, Harry wrote, "I know how you feel, and I want to assure you that over time that hole will be filled with so much love and support." Harry also revealed in his foreword within the book that after his mother died, he learned that though his mother may not be with him anymore physically, her spirit, love, and memories would live on with him forever, a message that is as enduring as it is heartbreaking. It's hard to say exactly when a person heals from a traumatic experience, if they ever fully heal at all, and it seems as though Prince Harry has had to deal with some triggering circumstances since Diana's death. Harry has shared that the circumstances in which his mother died, being chased by paparazzi, is an aspect of her death that has greatly impacted him. As he described it, it is a wound that festers. While Harry and Meghan Markle were on a royal tour of Africa, their experience was documented in the television special Harry and Meghan: An African Journey. During that production, Harry shared what experiences in his own life have tended to bring up memories to his mother's life as not only a royal, but one of the most high-profile figures in the world. As he described it, paparazzi and media attention makes for, quote, the worst reminder of her life.
Every single time I see a camera, every single time I hear a click, every single time I see a flash, it takes me straight back.
Diana Spencer was one of the most followed and photographed people since the very early days of her involvement with Prince Charles. It seemed as though cameras followed her everywhere. The media attention was a reality of her life that ultimately contributed to her death. The consistent cameras and attention in his mother's life greatly impacted Prince Harry, and Diana's experience prompted him to protect his own wife, Meghan Markle, from the same grim reality. Harry shared in the infamous sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey in March of 2021 that he was scared of history repeating itself when it came to Meghan, who is experiencing harrowing press coverage in Britain. He has also said before that he knows all too well the suffering that occurs when someone he loves is made out to be a mere commodity, saying, "They are no longer treated or seen as a real person. I lost my mother, and now I watch my wife falling victim to the same powerful forces." In the years following Prince Harry's wedding to Meghan Markle, his relationship with the royal family, specifically his bond with Prince William, has gone downhill. The two brothers publicly feuded for quite some time, and historian Robert Lacey told Elle that the bond between them would never be the same. Despite the tension and the history of bad blood, Harry and William are set to reunite in July of 2021 for what would have been their mother's 60th birthday. William and Harry commissioned a statue of Diana Spencer from artist Ian Rank Broadley to be unveiled for the occasion and announced their intentions to come together once again to honor her. The brothers wrote in an official statement, "Our mother touched so many lives. We hope the statue will help all those who visit Kensington Palace to reflect on her life and her legacy." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about the royal family are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.